What is the topic?
Right now we're looking for a song to get motivation. You understand?
And side quest is this.
Yeah, side quest is that song. Understand? But I can't play this song in the video because we're going to get copyright. So let me get straight to it. So today, on today's series, we're going to be talking about the difference between a 4-stroke engine and a 2-stroke engine, right? More reliable than the Honda engine? Probably not. The Honda is more reliable. Why? Because it's a 4-stroke. It has 4 cylinders, 4 pistons, compared to the 2-stroke system. Let me get you a show that.
Probably soon.
The difference between a 2-stroke and 4-stroke engine.
A 2-stroke engine finishes its power cycle in just 2 piston moves, one up, one down, so it fires every crankshaft revolution, giving a higher power-to-weight ratio but poorer fuel economy and emissions. A 4-stroke engine needs 4 strokes, intake, compression, power, exhaust over 2 revolutions, making it heavier but more efficient and cleaner. Are you studying for a test or just curious about how engines work?
No, we're making a YouTube video, so we're just using your knowledge and your technology to help us with the video. Thanks. Right, so the next thing we're going to do here now, we're going to start the Waka engine, right? 2-stroke versus 4-stroke, right? So you'll have a string, of course, you'll have a string. This going to act like your key, right? Then we have a choke in the back here. And then at the side here, at the back, we have something called the bulb. That is what creating the vacuum for the fuel, because we don't have a fuel pump in this. Everything is with suction and vacuum, right? So you put the thing here, so that is the same thing you're experiencing here, guys. Behind the camera, we're actually going to make a whole video about Waka today, and then the Waka start to work. Oh, you switch.
Nah, no, put it on.
You switch on.
Yeah.
Wait, you know it's you pull up the dog and then no Waka. Yeah, this can happen to you. This can happen to your 4-stroke engine. You start, you go on the
Start the 4-stroke. Start the 4-stroke.
You go somewhere and then you start now way. So this is the question we was asking. If the Waka will outdo the performance of the 4-stroke. Yay! So then you have belts. That's the next thing we coming up with. Belts. Everything in our 4-stroke engine work with belts. Right? So most cars will have a 2-belt system. Some will have a serpentine system where it have one big belt and an adjuster pulley. But fortunately for us, in this situation, it have 2 belts. So the 4-stroke system is designed with different components on it. So for example, we have the power steering pump here. This is the power steering pump. Previously from our last video, we was talking about the fluids for the power steering. So if you watch here, there's the reservoir bottle and you can see the line going back to the pump, right? So the pump will start a pump with the mechanical gears inside there, and then it will take the fluid from here and carry it down the road to your steering rack, right? And that's driven by a belt. The other thing is your alternator. This is your alternator here. That's what is charging back your battery and creating your electrical system. Well, it's allowing your electrical system to be optimum for all the electrical components, right? And then below that, we have something called the AC compressor. Everybody like cold breeze. We all love our cold breeze. Right now, the sun is real hot. In Trinidad, every day is like 35 degrees. You need your AC, right? So if your compressor don't have a belt on it, your compressor pulley not gonna spin and it's not gonna be able to pump the gas throughout the system, right? So the power steering belt, the alternator belt, and the compressor belt is basically run on the crankshaft pulley. So there's a big pulley. So we have an engine on the ground here. So there's a crankshaft pulley here. There's a Nissan, and it does have the belt running across here. And this smaller system here, it would run for your for the water pump and your power steering. Because this is a 2-belt system as well, right? So once the engine starts and the crankshaft spinning, it's gonna allow all the other pulleys to spin on it once it have a belt attached to the system, right? So as I said, we have 2 belts in the system, and basically let me give all you a rundown on how the belts run, right? So the alternator and the compressor run on the same belt, and that goes back to the crankshaft pulley. You see the big pulley at the bottom there, guys? Just like what I was showing earlier on the last engine. So that's the crankshaft pulley. So once that starts and it have a belt, it will transfer that mechanical energy to the other pulleys, and then it will start to spin, right? So the other thing is the power steering belt, right? So that connected to the crankshaft pulley as well, with the smaller pulley attached to the bottom. Because if we watch the crankshaft pulley over here, you'll notice it has two types of belts. So this one is a 5 pk or a 6 pk, and there's a 3 pk, right? So that's about it. Let me get to it. Yeah guys, so make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and share to your friends and family. We did a wide range of things today, and make sure to comment and tell us what is the next thing that you want to see, because it's a community we building, and we want to make sure that everybody on the same track and everybody learning at the same time. And even self is something that we didn't post, tell us, make sure and comment. One love, DJ out.